An open bar would have been nice. Triton's gouging us for every credit we've got.
Have you tried the canapes? Boring.
You look a bit lost in these surroundings. Hello? You here for the charity event? Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer that attending these types of events tends to absolve one of their sins and cleanse their soul. But something tells me you're not really here to discuss the event. What did you really want to talk about? Oh, I'm afraid that's a bit outside my wheelhouse. I work for UC Security, so I don't think I could be of much help. I have nothing to do with Galbank. You mean specifically? Oh, I work for the Corporate Fraud Division. We monitor all of the major megacorp financials and transactions to ensure that nothing improper occurs. You're asking a lot of strange questions. What exactly do you want? To be honest, I'm here to keep an eye on the charity event. It might not be as glamorous an assignment as a colony rescue or taking down some criminals, but anything that keeps the peace is important to me. What is this all about, anyway? Claudia sent you, did she? Look, friend, I don't know if you're just a little drunk, maybe a touch crazy, or both. Whatever you think you know about me, you're dead wrong. So back off.
Maybe I am a little drunk, but you're still a liar.
Don't test me. You have no idea how high up the chain I am with UC Security. Not only can I make you disappear, I can also make sure the settled systems forget you existed in the first place. Sure, go ahead. If it makes you feel better, you can take it right to the top of mast. Anything you try to report will boil down to your word against mine. And since I work for UC Security, who do you think people will believe? I told you to stay out of my way. I meant it.
I saw your little exchange with Vera. Keep that up and I guarantee that imbecile's gonna demand that you be arrested. Oh, absolutely. He's up the ladder at UC Security. Lots of pull. We have to handle this very delicately. Which is why he's threatening you. That makes sense. We need hard evidence of their scheme. But it's gonna be tricky. The problem is he's not gonna talk to you in public. We need to get Vera isolated so he'll spill everything he knows. Maybe, but if something goes wrong and he's able to raise an alarm, we're sunk. With all of these wealthy patrons aboard, the ship is crawling with security. Yeah, that's smart. Kill Vera, or anyone else involved in his conspiracy, and then Dumbrosky heads for the hills. Besides, you really want to ace a member of UC Security and have them breathing down your neck? You'll be the top story on SSNN. No. There has to be a safer way. Smart. If there's an emergency, standard practice is for all passengers to clear the decks and report to their cabins for lockdown. I think the best chance we have would be to tamper with the life support sensors. Manipulate a few controls, and you can fool the monitoring system into thinking there's a life support failure. And there you have your emergency. This is one of Trident's premier starliners. That means it has the best of everything, including a triple redundancy life support system. They installed a backup for the backup. Luckily for us, it will still trip an emergency and everyone will have to return to their quarters until I sound the all clear, which I won't.
I'm not particularly inspired by your shining example of confident leadership here.
Don't worry, it'll be as easy as it was mingling with the guests at the party. Just throw a few lousy switches and you're done. One more thing. If Chief Engineer Sundin gives you any trouble, tell him I'll erase that gambling debt he owes me. I prefer you use that as a last resort, but hey, what's the harm in losing a few credits when I'm on the brink of rejoining the fleet, right? Anyway, I better start packing. Things are getting hot around here, and won't be long before Trident figures out you had help. On the surface, he's an upstanding citizen of the United Colonies, pretty high up in UC security. Lots of clout with Mast. Underneath, he's a greedy piece of garbage. Given the chance, he'd backstab you for a cred stick and pin the murder on someone else. Come to think of it, if he wasn't such a petty tyrant, he'd probably thrive with the Crimson Fleet. All passengers are instructed to immediately report to their cabins. That way, we keep the halls clear and avoid a panic. Fortunately for us, all of the passenger cabin doors will automatically unlock. This is normally to ensure the crew can check cabins quickly and without interference. But in our case, it's like having an all-access pass. There's access to the crew section that you can reach through the Starfield ballroom. Chief Sundin should be there, wasting time at his station as usual. Have fun with that guy. He's a real piece of work. Once you're past Sundin, just look for the room marked Environmental Control. Everything you need is inside. Go do something useful, okay?
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
The ship's purser can assist you with any matter you want.
Between you and me, the best part of my job is getting a crack at all of the leftovers from the dining area buffets.
Suddenly, we've entered a high-security medical bay. Didn't expect that. Okay, then.
Hold up. This area is off limits to passengers. Wait a second. You're Captain Rocco's guest, right? Didn't expect to see you down here. Sorry to give you trouble. What can I do for you? I'm the Siren's chief engineer. Trident put me in charge of the entire tech team. We do our best to keep the ship running smoothly and efficiently. Of course, this beauty is a cutting-edge piece of spacecraft design. Almost everything has triple redundancy, like the life support system. Unfortunately, that means there's quite a bit of downtime. Could be worse though, right? Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this deck the dungeon. I think you can see why. Not exactly Starliner class comfort down here. Don't get me wrong, the quiet gives me time to gather my thoughts, catch up on work and all that, but I'd rather work on the bridge. Oh, sorry, that area's off limits. No exceptions. No, sorry, I'm afraid it's impossible. Trident regulations strictly prohibit anyone from entering the life support area without a valid reason. Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, it's just that I could lose my job, you know? Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm so bored down here. I've been counting the deck plates just to take up some time. Tell you what, I'm just going to step out for a bit and stretch my legs. Maybe you can hold this for me while I'm away? Honestly, he's a seasoned ship captain. He told me he was a long hauler for years and the experience shows. Only thing is, he's always talking about trade deals and plans for get-rich-quick schemes. It's all the guy ever thinks about. Why he decided to be a Starliner captain, I'll never know. It's almost like he craves being around money. Tell you what though, for someone that loves credit so much, he sure doesn't mind gambling them when we play cards. Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this deck the dungeon. I think you can see why. Not exactly Starliner class comfort down here. Don't get me wrong, the quiet gives me time to gather my thoughts, catch up on work and all that, but I'd rather work on the bridge. I'm the Siren's chief engineer. Trident put me in charge of the entire tech team. We do our best to keep the ship running smoothly and efficiently. Of course, this beauty is a cutting-edge piece of spacecraft design. Almost everything has triple redundancy, like the life support system. Unfortunately, that means there's quite a bit of downtime. Could be worse though, right? Whatever you do, don't break anything, or I'll be out of a job.
Oh, great. Everyone cleared out of the buffet. That's always a bad sign.
This ship is in a state of emergency. Please return to your cabin.
To think, the crew barely had space to stand in their rooms.
I was wondering if you were the cause of the ship-wide emergency. It's time you stop playing games and tell me why you're here. Doesn't take a genius to deduce you're the one that's responsible. I locked onto you from the moment you entered the ballroom, and I've watched you trying to clock Dumbrosky. After we spoke, I had a feeling you'd pull a stunt like this. You're working for Ikande's little anti-pirating outfit? So what? I had nothing to do with the Crimson Fleet. And even if I suddenly decided to stay loyal to the old UC, why would I possibly want to incriminate myself by handing over evidence? Don't act so surprised. You didn't really think I'd make a deal with Claudia or Dumbrosky without having a little insurance policy of my own, did you? Huh? If I've learned anything in my years at the corporate fraud division, it's always have an exit strategy. Claudia said that. You sure? Damn it! That means my money's already gone. And Dumbrosky's going to walk away with a fortune. I'd love to see the bastard fry. But if I give you that information and it falls into the wrong hands, I could end up in jail. Oh, I've got everything you're gonna need. This is a one-stop shop for you. We're talking a slate loaded with dates, account numbers, ID scans, even an audio recording. It was my little insurance policy in case the shit hit the fan. There's a solid enough trail here to send Dumbrosky straight to jail. Dumbrosky had the authorization to wipe out records on Galbank's system without raising any red flags.
All passengers.
I let Claudia talk me into that. She said she had him wrapped around her finger. Apparently, she was wrong.
Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
At least I walk away with something. All right, you have yourself a deal. Here, with this slate and this recording to tie it all together, you'll be able to nail his ass to the wall. He'll do whatever you want. Just remember that you promised to leave me out of it. I wasn't lying when I said I didn't know anything about your undercover work, if that's what you're trying to imply. All I can tell you is that there's more than a few people at Mast who find Commander Ikande to be a huge pain in the ass. I mean, the UC is aware that the Crimson Fleet is a problem, but it pales in comparison to the issues with the Freestar Collective. Ikande's loaded with big-picture ideas, but not a ton of evidence to put them into action. And frankly, it's driving my superiors crazy. Well, since Claudia has been spending time disgustingly close to Dumbrosky, I think she's suffered enough. On the other hand, I've got very, very special plans for Larry. I have some friends that can, well, let's just say, take care of the problem. That's if you leave him alive, of course. We'll just have to wait and see. Wait a moment. Are you telling me that this scheme is getting so out of hand, it also involves the Crimson Fleet? That's all I need right now. Enemies on two fronts. Just because I'm helping you nail Dumbrosky doesn't mean I'm turning my back on UC security. How else am I going to ensure that he ends up behind bars when all this comes crashing down? No. You can leave me out of your merry little band of pirates, thank you very much. You better tell Dumbrosky to run, because if you don't kill him, I will.
All passengers are being asked to return to their cabins at this time.
You again? This better not be another shakedown. Haven't you gotten enough out of me already? I hope you hurt Dumbrosky. Nail his ass right to the wall.
There's no cause for alarm. I'm sure this is just a minor malfunction or drill.
You must be the one who's been accosting Claudia and Gabriel.
All passengers.
I'm uncertain
May I have
what
your
you hope to
attention,
accomplish
please?
here, but it appears
The
we should
captain has
rapidly
declared
enter
a
into
ship-wide
some sort of
emergency. Please
negotiation.
report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until
You don't
receive
actually believe that
further
I'd venture into
instructions.
such precarious criminal territory without a proper bird's-eye view of the situation, do you? I'm uncertain why you've become entangled in this spider's web, but this situation demands swift and resolute action. Excellent, excellent. So, before we begin, let's review the facts. First, it's clear that you've obtained insider knowledge of my arrangement to defraud Galbank. The means and the method, perhaps, but not the motive. And second, I'm going to hypothesize that my compatriots are despondent regarding their share and have assisted you with this endeavor. Since we're speaking and I'm not at the reporting end of a bullet, this leads me to conclude that you desire something personal from me. You may as well ask, is it necessary for the sun to set on Jemison, or for one to wear a pressure suit when entering the vacuum of space?
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide
I pride
emergency.
myself on having an
Please
intensely
report to your
thorough
cabins in
education,
an orderly
though I
fashion
hardly call
and
myself a
remain there
professor.
until you receive further
Though I'm
instructions.
sure that your compliment also meant you were having trouble understanding what I've been saying. In blunt terms, you have compromising materials about me in your possession. The only thing I have to offer in return are my Galbank credentials. I assume that's what you've been angling for all along?
Rather astounding that you deciphered our communication attempt. It only took you a minute more than we expected for you to work through the calculus and participate in the discussion. But the rat models are notoriously unpredictable.
Obviously, that wouldn't be my preference, but I have little choice. Though Larry Dumbrosky will be mysteriously vanishing after this cruise, and possession of the credentials becomes ludicrous at that point. Well, I'm surprised you even posed that question at all. The answer is quite obvious. The last thing I'd want to do at this point is call attention to myself. Splendid. It appears we've reached an accord. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me simplify that for you.
All
It sounds
passengers,
like we have
may I
a
have your
deal.
attention, please?
Oh, of course, I trust you'll understand if I ask for us to avoid any further contact. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to formulate how I'm going to utterly ruin two very annoying business associates. Good day.
The Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. Please remain calm and proceed to your cabin. Our security team would appreciate if you please shelter in your cabin.
Well, looks like everything worked out, just like we planned. You must be joking. After this little stunt I helped you pull, I'm certain Trident's going to rip up my captain's contract. I've got nowhere else to go, so I'm fully expecting that you'll put in a good word for me with Delgado. You know, I'm still wondering exactly what you needed those credentials for. You feel like telling me, partner? I usually have a nose for these things, but in your case, it's a mystery. Very frustrating. Whatever the case may be, it's apparently worth risking your life over. That's telling me to more than a lot of money. That also means
please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Of course. I understand completely. Anyway, I suppose there's nothing stopping me from rejoining the fleet now. It's been a long time coming. I owe you one, Doverbeach. Don't worry, it's not an insult. It's a very old Russian word for comrade. It's what I intend to call you from now on, so get used to it. Yeah, I'm a bit short in that department myself. Perhaps I can pay you back later in some other way. Just look for me on the key, and I'll see what I can do. Well, I suppose this is where we part company. Hopefully the next time we meet, we'll be aboard the key.
Our security team would appreciate if you please shelter in your cabin during this emergency.
May I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
All passengers are being asked to return to their cabins at this time.
The Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. Please remain calm.
There's no cause for alarm. I'm sure this is just a minor malfunction or a drill.
ship is in a state of emergency. Please return to your cabin immediately.
This ship is in a state of emergency. Please return to your cabin immediately.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Huh?
The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
I need to pack up and get out of here. What is it?
Greetings, Captain.
Hard to underscore the impressive architecture of New Atlantis, right? I've been here hundreds of times, and it never ceases to amaze me.
Everyone to take care of any leeches on their We don't want any terror storming through here.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep... Okay...
Hello. Welcome to the Galbank Archives. May I see your credentials, please? Oh, no. None at all. I'm all alone down here. Yep. Completely by myself. Well, I guess you're down here too, right? So, that's two of us now. Sorry, not trying to lie to you or anything, just, yeah. Oh, no. No, this is just their deep storage facility. All the current records are upstairs in the main facility. This is where they put the older data onto long-term servers. Just one moment while I verify. Oh, yes, Mr. Dumbrosky. Welcome, sir. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. No, never, not at all. I'm so sorry. Hey, look, please don't mention this to my supervisor, okay? She'll give me a low rating, and I'm gonna end up scrubbing floors. Shh, they'll hear us. Look, Ecliptic busted in here and said something about letting you walk into the archives, and then they're gonna jump you. I'm supposed to let you in, and then get the heck out of here. They said if I didn't do exactly what they said, they'd kill me. Just be careful. I don't even know how many of them are hiding in there.
Contact hit their plane.